Hi.
Well, welcome everybody to tonight's team call. It is December 16th. We are just, what, a week away? 8 days away from Christmas? So exciting. I love Christmas time. It is the best to give and receive, right? I love Christmas time. But, anyways, I just wanted to welcome everybody to tonight's call and taking the time out to still be in action during the month of December. And being on this call is putting you in action, staying connected to the team and the community, which is priceless in this culture. Wouldn't you guys agree? Yeah, well, so I want to introduce our fearless leader. She's my mom. She started Isogenics like 16 years ago. And she made me a believer that anything is possible when you put your mind to something, and made me a believer in the company, um, and what the nutrition can do for your body and your bank account. So take it away, Mom, Kathy Helwig.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be on tonight's call. There's so much information and conversation on tonight's call. And so let me get right to it. I'll start with announcements. The holiday gift guide that the Isogenics has, the specials in that gift guidance Friday, just December 20th. So, and also, if you really want to order something and it arrives for Christmas, so that like a gift or whatever, you better get it ordered today, because it's timing out. um, Another kind of that they call it ticket bundle that Genix has created is an NYKOs and celebration tickets, all in bundle for $199. That is the best deal I've ever heard. So if that's something that you want to do, you want to purchase those while they last, because as soon as NYKO sells out, I'll be selling that bundle anymore. Also, the last Wellness Wednesday of the year, which now it's live in Phoenix, but they actually have it on isogenics.com, is the Wednesday. Lynn Hannon, Michael Klaus, and Joshua Pant are leading that, and it's amazing. This would be a great place for you to send your newest goal, your prospects who you're already talking to about Isogenics, and yourself, because everybody learn something. Get on those, and that is Wednesday 5:30 to 7. That's Pacific. Okay. So we just completed the bingo game, ISA bingo, and we had several winners. Let's see. I won front bingos, and it was so fun to help her pick and choose what prizes wanted to have. I mean, to hear a little bit about what this game did to kind of move forward, take you out of your comfort zone. Are you there, Amy?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Can't
Okay.
see, can hear you.
Yes. So the ISA bingo, what I, first off, it's kind of fun to do the challenge with all of you. So what I did was, look at each of the squares and kind of like say, okay, I decided I'm going to do a bingo. So one of the squares is actually Facebook Live, which is really outside of my comfort zone. But I felt that that was really what I needed. And so, doing it with, with other people, with the live, it just made really, as far as Facebook Live and what this business. So if I get out of my way of thinking if it's perfect, or I'm making a fool out of myself, that really it's just okay. What's the message I want to portray for other people? So it was really conquering my fear, and so that yeah, that was one takeaway from all this. But the other thing is, I know that there is competing commitment because it's like, oh, it's the holidays and also the bingo. But I figured, why not end instead of I have to do this, the holiday thing versus the bingo. I said, why don't I just do both? And if I made progress, even though I didn't have a bingo, but at least crossed out some squares, that it was a win for me.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great. All right. Hey, and had two bingos, and he had one bingo. Do either of you want to share a little bit about what it did for you to move you forward?
Yeah, I'll share a little bit. It was fun. I mean, I love games, getting involved in the community of people doing it. So it was a lot of fun to actually do it. And I've always loved bingo. So it was like, oh, this is really cool. And again, it's just jumping into it. We can procrastinate, and I've been there too, but it's just making that decision like, hey, I'm going to cross off one square this week, or maybe a square a day, whatever it might be. And so I encourage you guys to, jump in. The next challenge we have, just do it, because it's so much fun when we have a lot of people that are participating. And me, I mean, maybe all of us have fear about doing Facebook Lives. And I was like that too. So it was like, that was my one, for my second bingo. I was like, oh gosh, I have to do that. So I jumped in, and of course, I don't know if you saw it, but I actually scorched my hair in my fireplace. And I'm like, I'm just putting it out there, So anyway, it was fun. So again, I just take that step towards the courage and to get over your fear of doing whatever it might be. And so it was fun. And I'm glad I was able to, cross off a couple lines, and excited for the next one.
Great. Thanks. And I so appreciated that. And you guys, all three of them chose the cool blur that Isagenix created just as a holiday gift. Ran out very early, within 2 or 3 days. Got several of them, give them as prizes. And so they're not slouchy prizes, guys. Prizes. So I wanted to let you know that we are going to do some sort of game, maybe bingo quarter for the next year. So pay close attention. It'll probably start in January. All right. Stephanie, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add to that.
Hi there. Well, it's funny. Sometimes I go, oh, games, I don't know. I'm not always competitive, and don't always let myself be motivated. But this time I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. This is fun. I'm going to do it. And before I figured out exactly which direction I was trying to get bingo, I probably crossed off a total of 10 squares. And so that was a great way to kind of track what I was doing. And it ended up being very enjoyable. And it was kind of at the last minute that I got my Facebook Live in, but I did it. Yep. It was a great motivation to do it and not procrastinate. So I was glad to play, and I'll do it again.
Well, I congratulate you and Lynn and for participating. Loved it.
Well, thank you for setting it up.
You're welcome. Well, so, one of the things that has been going over the last few weeks now is a call with Dave MacArthur on Monday mornings, and we're going over the science of getting rich, and also an audio called Leadership and Deception. Awesome, both of them awesome books, and I love that has combined them. But Lynn, I wanted you to share something that Zach Slobin wrote.
Yeah, I saw this just this morning, actually, and I just thought, wow, it's powerful. But The call that we're on, the training call, as well as the audio for leadership and self-deception, is amazing. I mean, I encourage all of you to get it and just listen to it on your way to work or whatever. But, you know, we've all gone through, and we can all raise our hands, I'm sure, about deceptive thoughts that we have thought, you know, whether like, well, how come they can do this and I'm struggling? Or how come they're faster and I'm, you know, it's taking me 10 years, whatever your thought might be. It's that mind that's bringing us back and having that deceptive thought. So Zach Slobin put out a little thing, which I thought was great, because sometimes the deceptive thought might be like, wow, well, maybe if I can't do it in Isagenix, maybe I can look over here and do it in a, you know, another company. So looking outside the box kind of. So anyway, he had this great thing that he posted, and it says this. He said, here's why you'll never find me looking at another network marketing company opportunity, and why when someone proposes and I'll look at yours, if you look at mine, which I've actually had that happen before, it's always a hard no for him. He said, in my mind, I'm married. I'm married to my business. I'm married to our team, and I'm married to this company. Whether or not you recognize it, you're in a relationship with your business. There's an energy that exists. A nonverbal action-based communication is always at play. So I want you to imagine for a second the reality of what it means when you look. He says, if you're in or have been in or desire to be in a long-term committed relationship, how do you think your partner would feel if they knew you were browsing dating sites every so often? So think they'd be happy about that? No. Would you be happy if your partner was doing that? Absolutely not. So he says, I'm not interested in looking at dating profiles because I'm committed to my marriage. So I just thought that was such a great analogy. And then JoJo Bennington, who some of you know, Dave MacArthur's on her team, she said, I'm committed to focusing on who I am in my relationship and how I show up every day. I'm intentional about cultivating ease, harmony, flow, abundance, and prosperity in my home. And it's energetically impossible to do that if I'm seeking or sneaking a peek elsewhere. She said, it's really simple. You're either committed to your business, your team, and the company, or you're not. He said, but if you do find yourself creeping, don't be surprised when your partner or business stops loving you. And certainly don't ask why your relationship isn't flourishing like others are. I mean, Zach Slobin is so incredible with words. He just puts it out there, but it's just like knocks you in the side of the head, right? It's so good. So I'll post that if anybody wants to reread it. I'll put it on the news page.
Bree, why don't you share a little bit about the meaning of the word decide?
Yes. So we actually talked about this morning. Lynn shared this all with us, and we had a, fireside chat about, it was just where even my relationship, my marriage is, right? And, like on a scale of 1 to 10, and this is metaphorically also with the business, where would I rate the quality, 10 being amazing and ideal? It was a 6 for a while. And I was focused on the wrong thing, and I just kept coming up against the wrong thing with it. Whatever you focus on, you find, right? So there was a shift in my thinking just recently, and it's a good 9 right now. So as far as going back and looking at the business, and really what my mom was saying of decide is really death to any other thought. Like, I decided I wanted a 9 marriage, a 9-10 marriage. I decided, what is it going to take? What is it going to take in my shift in thinking and my focus? And it does take work in any relationship, in any business. It does take work. We just happen to be in the relationship marketing business, right? So I love how Zach worded it all. He decided a long time ago, death to any other thought, that this is the company he's planting both of his feet in and he's being married to and making it successful. we all have the best company because they evolve and they are generous and they're not shady and there's not a lot of there's no drama really, you know. And it really is because Jim and Kathy decided and Eric Hoover decided, right? So decide. I remember they talked about that this morning when Lenny Evans, when even Dave MacArthur was getting in, when he got in 15 years ago or 12 years ago, whatever it was, Lenny Evans kept talking about the pesticides, insecticides. We had one of those videos, right, where side meant death. And they're spraying our food with these sides, right? And that's why our food is nutritionally depleted. So a positive note, the word decide is there is no unwavering, like you are committed to, you've decided this is it and nothing else. So is that what you wanted me to share, Mom?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's such that am I still
just a little bit? Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that I learned throughout the 16 years I've been Isagenix, and it started from day one with personal growth. And what I realized was I had to allow a teacher. I had to allow that to enter my frame of thinking. And so what's doing is creating a new way for us to really get how important it is to have a clear mindset, a positive mindset. And he uses the principles. What principle? It's a law. It always was, always will be, and never changes. It's how we use principle that can change. It can change everything. We can use the principle the way and get the wrong result, or we can use the principle the right way and go down the right paths and get the right result. But the problem is, as humans, and especially as adults, we have formed beliefs about all sorts of things. But those beliefs dictate what we do, how we think, what path to take. And so the key here is we've got to make an effort, and it is not easy. Doing this is work, but it's so worth it. You can actually have what you really want when you apply principles in the right way. That's why I think it's so important for us to be on Dave's call.
Yeah, why I love Dave's calls is it sets, or the morning motivation calls is what it's programmed in my phone. It's on my speed dial actually. So my alarm goes off and I hop on it, but it's just such valuable information that you can then take and utilize and bring value to somebody else, a new prospect, right? Start a conversation with it. Or even a team leader, you know, or a team member that you've been working with who may have missed the call. You can just recap it, right? That's how we learn. We learn in repetition. When we can teach something, that is the teacher's learning as well, even more so. So I love that. And there was this flashcard app that Lynn, you were sharing this morning that you can basically have your vision board with you at all times on this flashcard app. So I'm really excited to dive into that. You guys know I love that stuff. And I also created a year in review printable document today. I'm actually going to put this free printable on my website, but I'm also going to share it with in the group, in our biz group. And it's your year in review, 50 questions to help you reflect, appreciate, and get excited for 2020. So there's 40 questions that you guys are going to want to journal and utilize. Let me just give you an example. The first question is, what one event, big or small, are you going to tell your grandchildren about that happened in 2019? And it really gets you in the mindset of what was created this year, so that you are in possibility with those next 10 questions about 2020. So I've done this a few times. It's really amazing because, I mean, before I started doing this, I didn't really reflect. There was so much that went on sometimes, some years, that I focused on the negative. All of these questions are geared more toward the positive. What great things happen? Because that's, again, what we focus on, we find. So I want to share. So after this call, look for that printable being posted in the biz group so you guys can start journaling and start creating what you want your 2020 to look like. Remember, 2020 vision. That's the theme of these next calls for the few weeks and into January, because it's so important, guys. If it doesn't happen, whatever happens in here happens out there. And if the success isn't happening, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm always honest, right? I have a fear of success. And right now I'm actually working on, why is that? What am I afraid of? I mean, even being in an abundant mindset, having a fear of success, that sounds like an oxymoron, like doesn't even make sense. So it's because of those past experiences that have wired my brain to think the way it does. So I love this. Again, this is personal growth work with a compensation plan attached to it, generous compensation plan that Isagenix gives us. Every single leader, and you guys are all leaders, all the successful leaders, they had to get their thinking right. They had to go there first in the mind. They had to personally grow, and we still are growing. It never stops.
So I just posted where to find the first 3 weeks of the MacArthur training. So it's go to YouTube at Mechanic to Million, and you'll find those recordings. Also, once in a while, and twice in the first week, he actually posted 2 kind of addendums or attachments to that training. Really just went deeper to what he was training in the week. And I tell you, if you guys don't get it by participating in this, you never will. He's doing a beautiful job of really helping us understand what is necessary in order to change those thought patterns for the good. And because remember, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and expecting a new result. Well, if we keep thinking the same way we've always thought, we'll always get the same result. And so it starts with with the thinking. I also posted foreverpack.com. There's a name now in order to log into the back office of that, and it's Foreverpack, and the password's the same. It was one. That is where you will find the building out your 5 cards video that David to really help you understand, because this is how he changed his thinking. He has been faithful to the process from the first he started doing this, and he says he reads them 2 to 4 times a day. And there's actually an app you can put them on your phone because you have your phone with you everywhere, right? And so that app on my phone, mine's Android. Flashcard is the name of the app. On iPhone, what was?
Here's the flashcard app, and you are echoing, Mom.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, so I do want to share too that, going back to what Lynn was sharing, that Zach Slobin, being married to Isagenix. It's interesting, this analogy, because I don't compare my marriage to anybody else's marriage. Why do I compare my business to everybody else's business? Right? That's just a notice. So stop doing that. Stop comparing your business to somebody who joined 2 years ago, and it could be 20 years younger than you too, right? Stop it. And we have such an advantage, guys. especially a lot of you on this call, because we have been married to this company for over 5 years, at least. That's huge, right? So there's just an automatic commitment that your new person will appreciate once they know, you've been committed to this one company for so long. That says a lot. You're not one to just jump around and grass isn't greener. Grass is as green as where you water it. Your business is thriving as much as you put in the work. And it starts putting in work with yourself, your thinking, your confidence, and getting out and doing something scary every day. That's what helps us grow. Like kudos again to the women who stepped up. Me, Lynn, doing Facebook Lives. That wasn't easy. It was scary. It's always scary for everybody that has done a Facebook Live. Even the ones that do it weekly, they always had that nervousness at least the first 10 times they did a Facebook Live, I'm sure.
So get the book. And what I did was I downloaded on Audible the Leadership Self-Deception. It's a whole other way of looking at things. And think of it as your marriage counseling for your business, right? If your marriage was in trouble, you'd go to counseling. Well, if you're not happy with how 2019 turned, go to counseling. Show up on Dave's call every Monday morning at 7 a.m. These are just amazing trainings. I can't do what Dave does, and show up every Monday night on our call. So for the new year, we're going to do a health challenge. We're working on a flyer for it, and it'll begin January 6th. So pay attention, look for that, and you're going to want to start promoting it on Facebook, social media, private messages to people that might be interested. It's going to be geared more to anti-aging or aging beautifully, and we'll continue to use our Wealth group as the community, right? How else would you want to promote it? Any suggestions?
I've got some suggestions of promoting it in 3 to 5 new contacts a day. You can go into like a Facebook group that you're a part of. Say I'm a part of one that's like Yorkies and mixes, right, of dogs, the Yorkie dogs. But I mean, just connecting in a group, contributing to the conversation, complimenting somebody, taking it private messaging that one person, right? There's a connection right there. And then asking that magic question, are you open to a way that would enhance the quality of your life? Physically and financially, find your magic question that you own and ask that once you're building rapport and having a dialogue with one another. And then adding people into our health and wealth group. That is the ticket to get them exposed to what's possible and to our team. Seeing the before and afters, the nutrition, bone broth that comes in the mail. Are you kidding me? That's huge, guys. I was at a Christmas party over the weekend and I couldn't shut up about talking about the bone broth. I've never even attempted. I'm not one to be in the kitchen anyways, even though it's getting designed so beautifully right now. I'm so excited. But I'm not one to make bone broth. It takes too much time. Too many things. And this one tastes amazing and it's so affordable. So great little stocking stuffer, right?
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining tonight. I apologize for the echo. I don't know what's causing it. But we'll have another call this week, even though it's Christmas week, because we really want to support you guys in having an amazing January. I mean, amazing. So join that call next Monday and have a blessed week. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Bree and Lynn and
Thank you.
Amy. And
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.